It is Tuesday and we are live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for being here. Hello and welcome. If you are catching this replay, you are in for a treat today. Go ahead, if you're in here and you can hear me fine, everything is going well with the volume, everything is going well with the view. Drop a 9 in the chat for me. Let me know that everything is fine and that you can hear me. But you are in for a treat today. We do have a special guest that is coming in, and this young lady, just thank me later. I'll just say that. Just thank me later. This young lady who is coming in to be with us today. I see those 9s popping up in the chat. So thank you very much. I see we have a little bit of a delay, but that's all right. That's all right. Everybody come on in. Come on in. Bring it in. Bring them hugs in. Bring that love in. It's good to see you guys here again on another Tuesday. Take just a moment, if you will, and go ahead and share this broadcast out. I'll wait. I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a minute to share it out. Hey there. Hey, hey. Hey, Dragon Queen number 1. Hello, how are you? Good to see you in the chat. I'm just going to try to keep up on my phone since it looks like we have a bit of a delay on the computer. So I'm just going to try to keep up on my cell phone. But take a moment, if you will, and go ahead and share this stream out. There's some information in here that you guys will really want to share with those people that you know and love. So go ahead and share that out. And I'm going to do the same on my end. Hello, G Mama Grows. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Always, always supportive. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being here, G Mama. Let's see. Let me see where else I'm going to share this thing out. I'm going to share this out on Facebook. I'm going to share it out on Facebook. And I said I was going to start showing some more love on the Facebook platform. I don't spend as much time on there. This is like my home because like this is where you guys are. This is where my family is. Hello. Hi, Bougie Prepper. How are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome, 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 welcome. So glad to see you in the chat today. Who else is here? Hey, Eco Neighbor. How are you doing? Hello. Girl, just get the glasses. Why y'all didn't tell me? You don't have to push the phone all back off in space like that. If you just put the specs on, make life easy for you. Make life easier for you. Just put the specs on. And let me go ahead and drop my link into the chat so that when my guest comes up, then she can see this. Because I'm not seeing her yet. Okay. All right, and let me look on the phone. Yeah, y'all tell me. Just put them on, girl. Just put them on. And so I'm going to pin the message. So Celeste, if you are in the chat already, I went ahead and pinned the link for you. And that way you can click the link if you are on a cellular device. If you are on an iPhone, it's going to prompt you to open Safari. If you are on your laptop, then you're going to have to use Google Chrome. Okay, that's how it'll work best for you. So if you're here and you see the link, then go for it. Go ahead and click on that link. In the meantime, hello, Andale. How are you? Thoroughly enjoyed the live today, as always. And guys, if you are not already subscribed to Andale, Andale is almost to 1,000. So if you're not subscribed to Andil, go ahead and jump on over there. I promise you'll be happy. I promise you'll be happy. She makes people happy, with her love and her smiles and all of the above. Yes, she is going to make you happy when you get over there. So let's help Andil go ahead and get to 1,000 subscribers. And she is very, very close. So if you guys go ahead, let me hold on. Let me grab my link. Now, Miss Celeste was going to be getting off work. Let me send her a little message. Are you up yet? Hold on. I see a spot on my glasses. I pinned the link in the chat for you. Okay. Okay. She responded saying she just got home. So let me, Lord, I took the glasses off. Have something on the glasses. So let me say hello if you are there. Say hello if you are there. Hello, Mignon. Hello, welcome. Good to see you. Dickinson Adventures. Hello, our off grid family. Great to see you in the chat today. Oh, hi, Miss Shirley Weaves. Good to see you. Hello. I hope you are doing well. It's so good to see you. Cassandra Dominic, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Great to have you here as always. My Renaissance Grandma, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Faith Nine, welcome, 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 welcome. Hi, Miss Grace, guys. How are you today? Good to see you in the chat. So, I wanted to do a shout out. Oh, okay. I see her. I see her. But let me do a quick shout out. I'm going to have to do another short for him, but I want to do a quick shout out to Garden State Gardener for all the perlite that he sent me. I'm going to show you guys on a video after I finish this live. But if you can get Green Grocer C on YouTube, no, on Instagram, on the Instagram platform, if you can get Green Grocer C and paste her Instagram link here, we'll find out in just a moment whether you were able to find that. One of my moderators, please. But I am going to go ahead and bring up my special guest. I've been so excited to have her. So, G Tribe community, welcome our new friend, Celeste, aka Green Grocer C. Hello, Celeste.
Hello, hello. My volume is a little low for some reason.
I can hear you fine, guys.
Okay.
Can you hear Celeste fine? I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
Let's make sure that the audience can. Y'all know what to do. Drop them nines in the chat if you can hear her just fine, like I can. We have a little bit of a delay between our cell phones and between. You can hear her fine, Mignon. They're saying hello, Celeste. Hello,
Hi,
hey,
everybody.
green hands. Hi there. Saying hello and God bless. Courtney Taylor, hello there. Courtney says loud and clear, sister. All right,
Okay.
let's rock. Let's rock. Let's get this. So let me tell y'all a little bit about this lady. So we literally met through Instagram, right? Celeste, I don't know how much you have seen regarding of my YouTube channel, but this is where I spend 99% of my time.
Really?
Like literally, I am here 99% of the time on the YouTube platform, more than anywhere else. And I am actually just getting back to being on the Instagram platform. And so I first noticed you when you kept sharing my posts. And I was like, oh, who is? Who is this? So, that was the first thing that brought my attention to your channel. And when I got to looking at your channel, I was like, oh my goodness. I have got to have this lady and bring her and introduce her to my G Tribe community here on YouTube. Um, as you can see, everybody here is loving. They're kind people. That's just the type of vibe that we operate on right here in this community. Um, and I just love what you stand for. I absolutely love it. I am super, super intrigued to know you at this point. And so coming in, going in to watch your videos, I was literally watching, just binge watching everything that you did.
Really?
Yes, I was binge watching everything that you did because I was floored with seeing all of the things that you have done, you have accomplished in your young years. I was just floored. And so, with all of that being said, let's introduce you to the audience, introduce yourself, and I want you to start with a little bit of your educational background.
Sure. I actually got my start in agriculture in high school. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so I went to WB Saul High School of Agricultural Sciences. And in that program, we get exposed to different types of agriculture, and I fell in love with plants from there. And then I went on to Delaware Valley University, got my Bachelor's of Science degree in Ornamental Horticulture and Environmental Design. And that was in 2009. And I believe I was the first Black woman to graduate from that department. So I was starting some history there. And I also did a lot of work around the campus to try to diversify the campus because it was a predominantly white institution. So I hope more Black women get into the field, get their degrees, and get all the education they can get.
Celeste, so let's go back to, you said that you went to an agricultural sciences high school. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So talk about the high school, talk about what it was like. How did you end up at that particular high school, and what was it like there at that high school?
Actually, it was divine because it was the only school that accepted me. Because when you're in eighth grade in Philadelphia, you have to apply to high schools,
Wow.
similar to what you would do for college. And then you have to wait and see if they accept you. But in order for me to go to this school, we had to go through a 4-week program in the summertime to pass all the classes and the field work in order to get into the school because they considered it a magnet school. So it was a
Mhm.
specialty school. And my mom threatened me. She said, "You're going to go to your neighborhood school if you don't, make it in the program." And I knew I wasn't going to the neighborhood school. So I stuck with
Okay.
it and I fell in love.
And so what made you apply to that school out of all the schools that you could have applied to? What made you apply to that one?
I love animals, so I thought I was going to be a veterinarian because we do have a animal program. Small animals, we have equine science, we have dairy cows, we have all types of animals because the farm is literally across the street from
Okay.
our academic building. So we got exposed to so many different things. But I said, you know what? Plants don't talk, they don't bite. It's a little more simple, I guess, to work with plants, and I just took off from there.
That's really funny to me because one of our daughters was actually considering being a veterinarian, and she spent some time in working in the shelter, in the local shelter here in Florida. And so she decided, for some reason that she didn't want to do that anymore. Probably the experience, the hands-on experience. So that's funny to me that you're like, well, they don't bite. The plants don't bite, animals
Mm-hmm.
do. And so once you decided that, okay, this is the school that I'm going to apply to, tell us what was, let me just say this. Here in the South, I've been in the South all of my life. And so schools for us is very different than it is up north. So when you get to a certain point, then all you do is go to whatever the next school that you're zoned for,
Okay.
whatever, wherever you live. So we don't really, unless you want for your child to go to a what we call charter schools down here. Unless you want your child to go to a charter school, your child is going to go, pretty much through the public school system, and they just go whatever the school is zoned for, wherever you live, is going to determine like which school you're zoned for. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
so when you got to the point where you said, okay, I'm going to go to this school, I know that I want to do something with plants. Um, then what was a day like at that school versus a traditional school?
Oh, it's very, very different. Once you like, I think it was ninth grade, we were exposed. We had several 4-week classes, so every 4 weeks we had like another rotation of a different agricultural class. So it was so long ago, I can't remember all the classes that I was exposed to, but I had greenhouse management, um, equine science, agricultural business, agricultural mechanics.
Wow.
We even had aquaculture, so we got a chance to do floriculture. So we learned how to do floral design, which that's another thing that I love to do, but I don't do that for like profit. I just love to do it. Anything creative with flowers and plants, I'll do. But once you get in your class, I think we have advisory first, which is like only about 30 minutes. And then you do your academic classes. And then in the afternoon, that's when you have your labs for 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. And you're out in the field or on the farm
Wow.
learning.
So very, very hands on, very hands
Yes.
on. Like, okay, and that's one of the things that's really super important for me. Um, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm cool with titles and all of that, but like I need to touch things. I
Mm-hmm.
need to get my hands on things. I need to do things because it's like, yeah, I can read all of this stuff, but that does not make me an expert at it until I start to actually dive into it, to actually understand like some of the science behind it, but also some of the art behind it. So, how was that for you? Like, are you the same? Like, you have
I
to.
am the exact same way. I read so many different books, but as soon as I got outside, I was just like, you know what, this is my purpose. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It might take different twists and turns, but I know for a fact that agriculture and horticulture is going to be my thing. And that's how I kind of transitioned into becoming like a garden coach, because the labor side, because I still work full time. So the labor side, it's a little bit much on your body. So now I'm trying to teach people how to do self-care and still work in the field at the same time. We working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. And so, what's some of your self care that the audience may be able to? Well, me too, child. But the audience
Yes.
may be able to get some takeaways from that. What's your self care like?
So last year that really taught me how to really tap into my self-care. I actually I changed my lifestyle to vegan, and I
Okay.
also I'm a holistic herbalist, or I'm still learning as I go. But I knew in order for me to really tap into self care, I had to do it for myself first, so that
Hmm.
I could then teach everybody else. So I'm teaching people what type of fruits and vegetables, how to do intermittent fasting. And when you start fasting, that's when you start to get to know your body. Your body is going to tell you exactly what it needs. It's going to tell you when you need water, when you have pain. There are going to be certain herbs that you'll be able to take in order to address the pain. And I focused on colon detoxing and also eliminating inflammation, because that's the root of all diseases and all issues that we have in our body. So as I'm putting my content out there, I'm trying to tell people, make sure you bend with your knees and not with your back, and also just taking some time to rest. I spent so many years working, trying to make money, but my body was like, excuse me, can we sit down for a minute? So now if my body says rest, I just rest. It's just
I
that
like
simple.
I like it. I like it a lot. Black Coffee is in the chat saying, "Say that, yes, yes, yes." So now tell us how long. See, you are. I know you're young, and I'm looking at your face, and I'm like, you're so young. But how long have you been working in horticulture?
Well, I'm 34, so I've been working in horticulture for 18 years. So I started at Longwood Gardens. If anybody is familiar with Longwood Gardens, it's a world-renowned garden. People travel from all over, and I actually worked there the summer of 2004 through my high school because we had internship programs. So they really wanted us to get out into the field to see if this is what we really wanted.
Mhm.
So when I was there were certain rotations that we could work in. So we had like indoor conservatory, outdoor. I worked in horticulture production, which is in the greenhouses, and I learned I don't want to be inside a greenhouse because it's very
Okay.
hot and it's very monotonous. Like I need to be moving around at all times of the day. So I chose outdoor work, and then I knew that's what I wanted to do. So every summer during high school, I worked outside. I worked at Pennsylvania Hospital after that as a gardener intern, and then
Wow.
I went on to Delaware Valley. I worked for the grounds department there during my summers, and I took classes because I didn't want to come home, and I also wanted to make sure I graduated on time, so I was able to work and go to school at the same time. So that's how I kept at it, always working, but then still taking, my classes as well.
You are the real deal. You're the real deal. Like, for a lot of us, this thing is relaxation. It's fun. It's experimental. It's a lot of different things for a lot of different people. Horticulture and landscape design and all of that stuff. Um, I've been gardening for a long time. I hate to tell you how long,
I'm
but
not gonna judge you, I promise.
but let's just say it's been a long time, and
Okay.
but I was so mesmerized because I was like, wait a minute now, like this lady is the real deal, and I knew I didn't know how old you were, but I knew you were young, and I knew that you had been working in this thing basically all of your life. This is what you've been doing. So this is not a hobby. This is not for the paper. It's not for
Hmm.
any of that stuff. This is really like a part of your being.
Hmm.
And it's amazing when you find your purpose, like how work doesn't feel like work anymore. um
um it did in the beginning before I learned self-care, because I,
okay,
I actually I actually had a landscaping business on the side as well. So
okay,
while I was working in the field, then I would get off work and then work for clients around Philadelphia. And after a while, I actually started to hate it because I felt like a slave. But the pandemic is when I really tapped into agriculture as far as growing food, and that's when I feel like the ancestors came to me and said, "Listen, we're going to get you back to the basics,
yeah.
but this is how you do it." And that was the first time in my entire career I had time to do what I wanted to do and not what everyone else wanted to do. So,
Oh my
and that's
god.
and right now I'm trying to work for myself. So I'm trying to free myself from the matrix so that I can really like take my gifts to like a worldwide, you know,
See,
atmosphere.
we got to talk offline. We got to talk
Okay.
offline because what you just said, you got to take yourself out of the matrix.
Mhm.
We're literally, my husband and I, are literally going through the same thing right now. Toya Soy, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, ladies. This info deserves a tip. Thank you so much. We really
Yes.
appreciate that. Um, Celeste, so I heard you say something on one of your videos, and you were talking about your seed stash. Now, we all gardeners here.
Hmm.
And so what's the deal with this seed stash? We already know, but we want to hear from you, Celeste.
You know what? I am very intuitive, and I felt like the apocalypse was coming. So I started researching. I fell in love with I think it's called Little Shop of Horticulture. It's on Etsy. And they
Hmm.
have some of the most amazing seeds I've never seen in my entire life. So little by little, as I would save a little bit of money, I would get seeds because I felt like I never wanted to be without food. And I always wanted to have access to seeds because where I live right now, I turned the backyard into my garden. I'm renting my apartment, but I said, listen, I see land here. I see
Hmm.
earthworms, so I know it's good.
Yeah.
And my landlord said, do whatever you want. And as the season went along, I was teaching myself and then posting the journey so that people can kind of come on the journey with me. Because I did have a Lady Landscaper 15 as my original page. But as you all know, Instagram doesn't like black people actually teaching things, so they shut that page down, so I don't have access to it. But then I said, "You're not going to stop me. Let me start my own business and then put the Instagram into my business name." So that's how I'm
Yeah,
still here
listen,
as Green
listen.
Girls from the Sea.
They don't like nobody teaching nothing to nobody. You understand what I'm
No, they
saying?
don't.
They are. I got shadow banned before, so I know exactly what you mean. And all I had to do was remove one hashtag. That's all I
What?
had to do. All
Oh
I had
my
to do
gosh.
was remove one hashtag. And I ain't gonna tell you what that hashtag was because YouTube has gotten me before as well
Oh
about
boy.
talking about those types of things. So yeah, they will get you. They don't care who you are. They're gonna get
Mhm.
you if you go and try to help the people think for themselves. They don't want that. So you were talking about, tell us a little bit about your the way you're preparing. We know that you're gardening. Is there anything else that you're doing to prepare for if anything goes terribly wrong? Like, what else are you doing? You were talking about self-sufficiency, you were talking about preparation, and you were talking about food shortages. So what do you have on that?
Actually, I don't know if anyone knows about Stronger Roots. Stronger Roots is a Facebook group started by Travis Burrell. I actually found him during the pandemic. It is a group of black agriculturalists from all over the world. So I was able
Mhm.
to connect with so many different farmers. So we're all in contact with one another. So if I get the opportunity to move down south, I know what farmers to connect with. So I
Mm,
definitely recommend any and everybody follow them on Instagram as well, Stronger Roots LLC, and also Stronger Roots on Facebook.
I love it. I love it. And so all right, so you got stronger roots, you got your garden. Are you into solar power? Are you into any of that stuff at this point?
I would love to, but the funds are a little low. But as soon as
Okay.
the funds come in, I do want to start doing solar. I'm
Okay.
actually really trying to get out of Philadelphia because I don't know if you guys have heard on the news, but the crime is just increasing and it's just
Yes.
not safe. And I actually work in a very unsafe neighborhood as well. So
Okay.
I know down south or somewhere warmer is calling me. So as soon as I get word to go, I'm out of here.
And you know what? And it's so much more affordable down here. You know, there's just no way that, well, I'm gonna say for the majority of people, when they move from up north, they can live like royalty down here because things are so much more affordable when you come down south. You don't have to. There's just so much stuff that you don't have to deal with. Obviously, every part of the country has their issues or
Hmm.
whatever. Some places, you have high crime. Some places that you're gonna have $3,000 rent, which is like unheard of down
New
here.
York, New York.
Yeah. It's unheard of down here. So yeah, everybody that is talking to us about, hey, we're getting out, we're getting out and we're moving down. We're like, you should. You should. There
Yes.
are so many places that you can go, and yeah, it's gonna be a little culture shock because
It's
it's
okay.
different. But let me tell you, there are so many people who are relocated. I can't remember how many thousands they said per day that are relocating just to the state of Florida because they just want to have a better quality of life. They want their money to stretch, and not just all go into just trying to survive from day to day. So, hey, if you can get out of there, girl, get
Oh,
out of
it's
there.
already happening. I put that out into the universe, and
Yes,
I noticed a pattern. As Black people in slavery, we fled the South to come up north, but now it's
mhm.
getting too bad, so we're going back to the land and back to the basics as we should. So I think the
Better
ancestors are proud of all of us that are reconnecting to the land.
if you know like I know. And that's one of the things that my husband and I, we were when we were trying to decide when we first got married, we knew that we didn't want to be in the small town that we were in,
Hmm.
um, but we didn't know where we were going to go. But I was accustomed to a certain thing, and all it took for me was one visit to Miami, just one visit over the summer to say, oh, I knew something wasn't right about where I live and I got to
Hmm.
get out of here. Now, we didn't move to Miami because, I don't want to move to Miami because that, for me, that it's a little bit much for me.
Hmm.
So I don't want to move there. But I knew that we were going to have kids, and that we were going to want them in a place that was going to be safe for them.
Hmm.
But we were also want them in a place where, because my husband and I always, since we were dating, we started dating like in 1992. So even for us, we always, when we were dating, we were doing lawn care. That's kind of what he has always done. And
Hmm.
so we were doing that and we were like, okay, where can we go where there's still grass? We wanted grass, we wanted trees, we wanted to still be a part of nature. We wanted to make sure that we can still get out and we can work in the yard. We could do all of that type of stuff. So yeah, it's really important to, I think, to be, even for our mental health, to
Yes,
be out
very.
in nature,
Yes.
to make sure that we're getting that vitamin D. We got to get that vitamin D. Um, and we got to make sure that we're able to breathe well,
Yes.
that the trees are still there so they can help the air for us. Like there's so many reasons that I love living down here. I love living in the South. I love living in Florida. Um, and I've lived a couple of other places, but I came right back. I came right back to Florida. So we were looking up north, and then one morning it was like we were staying in the hotel. He was going to different job interviews. He had gotten a job like really fast.
Hmm.
And we woke up and there was ice on the car. And we lost it. We were like, oh no.
Oh.
We were done at that point. We were done at that
Yes.
point. And so the only time that we've really been back was, a family lived there, or we went to Philly one time because, we went to pick up a car. I'm just gonna, I'm
Okay.
just gonna tell it. We love old cars. We love classic cars. At one point, we had a whole lot of them, and so we went to pick up a car in Philly one time, and we got to ride the train. Like
Hmm.
it was dope to me.
Yes.
I just thought it was really awesome. But at the same time, I was like, man, like I missed some trees. I didn't get that. I wasn't getting that feel like I get here.
Hmm.
Missing them trees.
Yes. It could be very overwhelming. And as you know, they design the US to put the cities here, to put us in these small areas, and then it affects our mental. So that's why it's so important for us to go to the land so that we can actually
Um,
receive the information we're supposed to, because we're never going to get it if we're so overwhelmed by our environment. So that's
yeah,
what I learned here.
yeah.
And also, I went to Ghana in 2019, and I actually went to the slave
Nice.
castles. So
Nice.
I knew I needed to get in touch with my roots. So I literally went to the motherland, and also I traced my own family roots, and I found roots in South Carolina.
Wow.
So the majority of us are from South Carolina because that's one of the major ports that our African ancestors came. But I also am Native American. So I have a
Mm,
blend of both cultures. So it all came to me once I followed my heart, went to the motherland, came back here, and then received information from those ancestors. So now I'm trying to give that information back to the people so that we can all free ourselves.
that is amazing. I love it. I love it. We got off of that seed thing. Let me go back. Let me go back to the seed thing. Now, how many seeds do you have, and what type of things do you have um,
I,
in your seed stash? Because I
I
know
can't
that
even tell you.
is.
I
Yeah.
can't even tell you how many seeds I have because I just started just filling a box with just all types of stuff. I got so many different types of corn, watermelon, dill. I love my herbs, so dill, oregano, mint, tomatoes, and then a lot of times in my garden I would see plants just resurface. Like
Hmm.
even after the summer was over last year, I had another like crop of sunflowers just pop up, and that's why I knew I tapped into my gift, because it was literally like magic. Things were just happening because I took the time to hone my skills and just listen to nature. So even in the city, I was able to tap into my gifts on a whole different level.
I love it. I love it. Now, one thing that I also saw you doing was driving heavy equipment.
Yes, ma'am.
What can you drive? Like, I'm like, this girl is me. She's me. I'm just not out there.
Well, I work for the grounds department, so I am forklift certified for driving forklifts indoors. I drive Bobcats. And the Bobcats have a front loader. We also have forklifts for that. I drive the entire fleet of trucks, so we have different size trucks. We also have a plow on them. So basically, anything and everything. If I haven't driven it, I could probably figure it out. I can also drive Kubota tractors with the front
Wow.
loader and the backhoe, so I can dig out trees and do
Mm.
whatever needs to be done. And I consider machines just an extension of myself. So
Wow. That is so cool.
it's
That
so
is
much fun.
so
It's probably
cool.
one of the best things about the job is driving all the machines.
Is that right? Wow. That is so cool. That's so cool. So, um, a little bit about the landscape design that you do. So, are you doing more residential design? What are you doing?
It's all residential because I can only do things on a small scale. And when I was in school, actually putting my visions to paper was very challenging for me because I'm such a visual person.
Mm,
I, putting things down, the only thing I can do is poetry. I can write my poetry on paper, but I can't put my design on paper. So I have a gift of being able to look at a space and knowing exactly what I want to put in there, and I can just magically make it happen. And a lot of times my clients would just say, I would ask them exactly what they want, look at the site, because you're supposed to do a site analysis before you do anything. You gotta make sure you know where the sun comes in, where the shade is, what type of soil you have, what type of wildlife. And once I gather all that information, then I go to the plant nurseries and pick out the best plants for them and then put it all together.
wow. I'm just listen. I would be that client where I'm like, girl, I don't know. All I know is that I like these types of flowers. Like,
Yes.
like my husband is has a gift for the design part of it.
Mhm.
So everything you see around our house, he's the one that's like, okay, this would look good. Like, okay, there needs to be a curve or something right there.
Mhm.
But me, I'm like, I like that flower. I like this flower. I like that. And then let him just kind of put it together. So I would know. I would know. And I would be totally, totally dependent on you for like bringing that vision to life for me. Cause I'm like, lay it out. I need it
Hmm.
laid out. I need
Hmm.
like to see. I love these, what are they called? The Black Eyed Susan.
Yes, I love them
Um,
too.
my friend AJ's Green Thumb, who is here on YouTube, you should really check out his channel.
Okay.
He is also he works in horticulture and he's a landscape designer. And this guy's yard is magnificent. His eye, the way that he can put, he can visualize things and the way he designs it, I think you would really get a lot, just like get a real kick out of seeing his channel. And he is up in Maryland.
Okay,
He is
so he's
up
not
in
far. A couple hours away from Philly.
Yeah, he is amazing. AJ's Green Thumb right
Okay.
here on YouTube. So I think you would really get a kick out of seeing some of the things that he lays down as well, because he does residential landscape as well. So one of the things that you said that I just loved was be your best authentic self. Talk about that. Talk to the people.
I think we grow up, we live in a society where we put on illusions. That's what
Mhm,
social media, you can put whatever life you want to put out there. And I know for a fact, in order to really heal from all the trauma that I've experienced in my 34 years, I had to really sit with myself and say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to fix? And then I literally have to go through shadow work. If anybody's familiar with shadow
mhm,
work, you literally have to sit alone and you got to go all the way back to that first experience that you know you need to figure out the root of it. And then from there, it's just like peeling off the layers.
yeah.
And a lot of times with nature, as you're working, you're going to be able to heal because you're going to have the time and space to think about all the things you've experienced. And then once you acknowledge it and address it, that's when you can heal from it because you know you don't have to keep going back to it and you don't have to be triggered by it because you already figured out where it's coming from. And once you realize, say a person did something to you, then you have to realize that person went through something that did something to you. So it's all like a chain reaction of trauma. And then I also know a lot of our trauma is rooted in slavery.
Mhm,
So once I went back to the motherland to actually go into the dungeons and see what they experienced, I
mm,
said, you know what, we got to reclaim our power. We got to reclaim our gifts of working outside. There was a reason why they took us
mhm,
from Africa. And
mhm,
also, there was a reason why they slaughtered all of the Native Americans because we knew how to work the land.
mhm,
So that's why it's so important for us to reconnect because all those ancestors are literally sitting there waiting for all of us
mm.
to come back to it. And then they could teach us what was taken from them when they were actually in the physical form.
And you know what? And that's one thing that we do often is to just be in nature, like just be there, experience the way the wind feels on your skin,
Hmm.
experience the way the sun feels on your skin. In Florida, the wind blows a lot. And so sometimes we'll just sit outside for hours on hours and just feel it. And there's something that's so spiritual about just feeling nature. And so when we go out, when we go to take our country rides, which we do all the time because we want to be around these trees.
Hmm.
I consider myself a tree hugger
Yes.
because it's like, and that's why I buy so many as well. Even before I started vegetable gardening, like I was propagating trees. Trees was literally the first thing that I ever propagated because I just love trees. I love the way they look. I love the way a lot of them smell. Just seeing the foliage on the trees, like it does something to me. There's just a connection that you really can't really explain. Um, But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I understand. Talk about one of the things that you do is community giveaways. I saw you in the community.
Yes.
Tell the audience what you were doing when you're doing your community giveaways.
Well, I knew I needed to start a garden community on Facebook. So I have a group called Grow with Green Grocer C. So I have connected with people from all over, but it's specifically Philadelphia because my job is so wasteful. We
Okay.
have lots of flowers that we don't always use. We have pots, we have soil. So I told my job, listen, since y'all don't want to take the time to actually give these things to the people that need them, give them to me. I got myself a pickup truck a few years ago, so I will literally fill up the back and I put out a post in my group and say, listen, if you want to come here or if you need me to drop it off to you, I will get the stuff to you because I don't feel like we need to spend a lot of money,
Mm,
especially when we have these big corporations that are wasting money. So I
mm,
said, we can't keep doing this. So even once I leave my job, I hope to still stay connected so that I can continuously get the products and all the supplies to people that need it.
great, great, great. And so you were also talking about a green space that is in your area. Tell us about that green space.
We all, well, Philadelphia is one of the, I think we have the largest green space in the country. It's just all broken up. So it's called Fairmount Park. So we have so many different areas for people to kind of lay out. There's lots of grass. We have the Schuylkill River. You see a lot of people running, walking. Um, we have the art museum, and you guys know you see Rocky running up the steps. So we have lots of areas in the city for people to go to. But I think there's still so much fear about getting outside that people aren't
Mm,
really utilizing the green spaces that are here. So
mm,
that's one of the reasons why when I'm out and about, I take video of the produce stores. I'm showing people where to go to get the food that they need because there is a food desert here. A lot
mm,
of the we call them poppy stores, but they're like little convenience stores, but none of them carry actually healthy food. They're
wow.
filled with poison. You know, we got all the cereals and processed foods. So I'm really trying to help people get away from that because that is another attack on us through our health. So I'm trying to get
Mhm,
people
mhm,
away from that, but I know there's addiction rooted in that. So I'm
mhm.
trying to get people to actually go get the vegetables and grow their own food too, because you want to know exactly where your food is coming from, because we don't know where all this produce is coming from once it gets to the store. There could be pesticides, it could be all types of stuff. So that's why it
And
was so
and
important for
is
me to grow.
yeah, and is there are certain things that we no longer even buy
Mm-hmm.
anymore from the store because we've been noticing just little things. We've been noticing the simple things like lettuce, for instance.
Yes.
Now it's like there's like this something on the lettuce. It destroys the flavor, number
Mm-hmm.
one. And then some of them will be almost dry, like it's dry. And so you know that something has been sprayed on this stuff. And typically it's a preservative and chemicals preserve. Let's keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes,
what
they do.
preserves. So apples. I know a lot of people probably are just like, yeah, for real, them apples, when they look all shiny and slick and all of that
Yes.
stuff, like it's been sprayed. And so that's one of the things that I love about being able to grow my own stuff as well. I can just send the kids out to the backyard and
Mm-hmm.
they can literally pull things off of a tree off in our own backyard. And we know
Mm-hmm.
that it hasn't been sprayed with anything. We know that we're basically feeding it what we eat because we feed a lot of the majority of our food. We're going to feed them food scraps.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to
Mm-hmm.
feed them the scraps, feed them back to themselves, basically. And they love it. And they are so much healthier for that. That's why I think it's so important for what you were saying about making sure that you preserve all that you can, because even in our lawn, we keep it very, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
And when my husband cuts the lawn, then he can take those grass clippings and put them
Exactly.
around our trees and don't have to worry about all of
Yes.
the stuff, you know, don't have to
Mm-hmm.
worry about all of the stuff in it. He can actually use our own grass to clippings to feed our plants and feed our trees back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's super important. And you were talking about you have a Facebook group. Tell us a little bit about it.
I know we have a lot of plant groups on Facebook, but I wanted to make something more intimate and interactive, and I also started my own show called Plant Talk Monday, where I would host farmers from all over to come talk about their garden and their gardening and also their journeys to back to the land. But I kind of got away from that because I'm such a busybody. I'm all over the place, but I still constantly post my content that you guys see on Instagram. I post it in the group, but I also, just check in with people because a lot of times we have so much fear because we feel like we're doing it alone and we don't have to. And we can always, if we have any questions, if I don't know it, I am such a researcher. I will find the information for you. And I encourage everybody to go to YouTube University because I don't
Yes.
consider myself an expert. I feel like I'm just a researcher. So if whenever I have a question, I just know how to get the information.
Well, I mean, I honestly feel the I know I now you're an expert, okay? I feel like I'm experienced, but you're an expert because the thing is that you've put so much time and effort and energy, and to go through. Tracy said 215 is in the house, by the way.
Yes,
Tracy's
yes,
on
really.
PA. But we put so much into what we do, but you have the education behind it. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it, you the real deal.
And I'm
And
so grateful to my parents for helping me, get through school. I had a scholarship through the board of trustees, but my
mhm,
parents said if you keep your grades up, we're going to make sure you go to the school that you want to. But I also had to do it in the time frame that they told me, so I made sure I worked really, really hard so that I could graduate on time so that I could then get right into the field and start doing the work.
yeah, yeah, that's amazing to me. That's amazing. And I know just from some classes that I've taken in horticulture, it's not easy.
It was the most challenging thing for me because not only was the curriculum challenging, but the culture shock of, being the only, black person, but sometimes only black woman. So I've
I was just
navigated.
about to say, and you're the only woman
Yes, and
in
I did have
there.
a couple of other Caucasian women that were in my design classes, but
Okay.
I was only person of color in the majority of my major classes. So
Mm.
I was battling a lot of things. I was going to school with people who put Confederate flags in their dorm room. So I was going to school with people who already grew up hating me. So
Mm.
I made sure I was the president of Black Student Union and I was making sure we had different programs to expose everyone to different cultures because it's not just one culture.
And exactly. And let me tell you one thing that I love about the community that we have built here. Um, what I call my G Tribe community. What we have built here, it's people from everywhere. When I tell you
Mhm.
they are from everywhere and they love the heck out of you, um,
Oh, thank
because
you.
we share, because we share this love of
Mhm.
nature. We share this love of gardening. And we have people that come here from the UK.
Wow.
My friend Rambo Greenhands, currently lives in the UK, but I think he's from Jamaica originally.
Okay.
We have people that come here um, that are from the Middle East that come to my channel and who
Mhm.
love the channel. We have people from Africa who are here, come through from the channel. I mean, literally just a rainbow of people that come here and they love it here because we all love on each other, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so we come from everywhere, and that's the one thing that I do love about the community that we have built here, is that you got people just from everywhere who just love the heck out of you because you love the heck out of a tree or a plant or some fruit or this type of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so it, in that way, it's so different. It's so different in that poor boy's little homestead, um, this young man right here, Poor boy, he is down in Louisiana. So we got people from the South, we got people from the West Coast, we like literally everywhere. My friend Black Coffee, she's here from Chi-Town. So
Hey,
yes, so when I tell you that Brampton Gardner is from Canada,
amazing.
so when I tell you, like, we from everywhere and we crazy about each other.
Mm-hmm. It's all
So
rooted in love. That's really
it's all rooted
the,
in love.
the song "Pushing P." I don't know if anybody has heard it on the radio or in hip hop, but I always
Yeah.
turned it to pushing positivity, purpose,
Yay,
potential, all things positive.
that GT Junior is over in Alaska. See
Alaska,
what I'm saying? Look,
wow,
everybody is out here repping now. Alabama in the house.
amazing.
Yeah, like everybody is repping right now. The hood stead is up in New York
Hey,
State.
I was just in New York too over the
and
weekend.
and this is one of them. The hood said is actually growing in, oh my gosh, so little square feet, and she is still growing.
I know
Like
that's right.
she is like, nothing is going to stop me. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the type of people that we have here, and we're just crazy about each other. Look at Mignon. Mignon said to the sea in this
Tennessee and this
thing.
thing. Hey, girl, hey.
Yeah, so we got people from just everywhere. A lot of people, um like Love Notes, one of our pillars in our community, just full of garden knowledge, from New York and now living in Georgia. So she could tell you about the best of both worlds, and
Mm-hmm.
what it's like. You see the hood said, you see what she said, look how many square feet she said that she's growing in. She lives
Amazing.
and grows right
Amazing.
there. So these are the type of people that we have right here in this G tribe.
Yes, I'm so grateful.
Yeah, this is who's here. So this is who you're talking to. Nicole is out in Bay Area, out in California. You know,
Okay.
so like we got them everywhere. We got them
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Pit Stop Kitchen and Garden. I haven't seen her in here today, but Pit Stop is overgrowing in Vegas. Can you believe it? Like
Listen.
the for real desert, and
Mm-hmm.
she's actually successfully growing.
Yes, it's
So
all about intention.
yeah, yeah. And so we put a lot of effort into making sure that the love is great over here,
Mm-hmm.
and that no matter where you came from, share those experiences, share what you learned in your area, so that who knows where I may end up one day. If I have to end up in a situation where I'm growing in the desert, then guess what? I got somebody that I can call. You
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying? So, um, New Mexico in the
Wow.
house, James Franklin. See, we got them everywhere. So there's so much that we learn from each other, just simply because we share this love of gardening, you know,
Yes.
and that brings us all back together, regardless to what's happened. It brings us all back together to where
Mm-hmm.
we can just be like, let me call my friend such and such, because I know that she'll know something about this, or he'll know something about that. Talking about the vegan lifestyle. Now, if some people in here, their eyebrows were going up like, I need to ask sis some questions. I saw
Sure.
some of the chats rolling through. So
Okay.
there are people in here that we love health. We love, and all of us, we can do better. And that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
going to do. We're going to start working towards all of this type of stuff. because all of it leads right back to nature, which is our commonality, what we love. Hey, Veggie Farm Garden. Yes, gardeners out here spreading it. We out
Yes,
here
all about
spreading it.
love.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we do. And black coffee is vegan. So
Yes.
yeah, there are people everywhere. I was vegan for about 6 months. You know, I gotta do better. I
Ye-
gotta do
I'm
better.
coming up on a year now.
Wow, nice, nice, nice. I gotta do better. And she up in see, she's still repping. She's still repping PA
Honeybrook.
over in Honeybrook. So I closed. Why did I close my book? I got so many notes in here. Let me find. Let me go back to my get back to my notes. But I wanted to also ask you about tell us about plant talk.
Plant Talk Monday.
Yeah.
Um, Plant Talk Monday actually helped me with my shyness because I've always been like the girl in the corner, and but I said, you know what, this is purpose and I have to push through it. So I took my baby steps and I got myself a little light for inside my apartment, and I had my notes of things that I wanted to share, but I also asked my community, what do you guys want to talk about? And then through social media, I'm connecting with different gardeners. I say, hey, do you want to come into, my group so you can talk to us about your experiences? And after a while, I was a whole reporter and journalist, and I was doing this, and I said, where in the world did this come from? But when you are really doing what you love to do, all of the things that you need will come right to you. So that really helped me get out of my shyness, and hopefully I could take it on the road because I love to travel and I want to show people what it's like to live in different countries or to farm in different countries and bring my education to it and also learn from other people. So I know everything will connect at some point, but for
Mhm.
right now, I'm going to do what I can do from where I am.
And let me tell you one thing about Florida. You can walk into any convenience store in Florida, just about any convenience store in Florida, and you can find fresh fruit.
That's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing. We need that
So
all over.
I just threw that out there to say, girl,
I'm
consider
here in
Florida.
Florida a lot.
Go ahead and consider Florida, especially in like the very country areas.
Mhm.
Um, they'll have on a daily basis. They're gonna have some oranges. They're gonna have some bananas. They're gonna have some apples. Like you can literally go into the Dollar General stores. You're gonna have fresh
Amazing.
fruit. They literally put freezers or refrigerators in there to where they can keep the fruit cool. A
Mhm.
whole nine. They literally you can go to Family Dollar, you can go to Dollar General, you can go to the Dollar Tree. Um, in certain cities, the Dollar Trees, you can find more of your fresh fruit and vegetables. So, you know, hey, it's a great place to be. It's a great place to be for us. So, YouTube. Do you have a YouTube channel already?
I don't, but I know a lot of people are telling me to take all my content to YouTube. So that's something I'm going to make sure I work on this summer and just bring it on over there because I've mastered, putting together videos and adding my music. So I need to get myself a computer so I can really take it up a notch so I can reach more people because this is something I love to do, and I spent a lot of time just kind of studying how to reach the people. So I definitely want to take this to YouTube.
Hmm. And you should, and you really should. And I know there's about what 50 people in here that would love to come over and get some knowledge from you.
Okay.
There's so much that you have to offer to this platform, and so you can also be a part of YouTube University. Um,
Yes, that would be awesome.
yeah, having worked in the field of horticulture for the last 18 years, there's so much that you can show on here that people need. that people would love. Because I think one of the biggest issues that I have run into when working with new gardeners and helping them establish their new gardens is the mindset that goes
Yes.
along with it. It's huge. You
Hmm.
have a lot of people who are afraid. They're afraid that they're gonna kill something. But listen, we all kill
We
something.
have.
I still kill some stuff.
Same.
So so we're all going to kill some things, but I think a lot of people also are afraid that people will judge them for being a farmer. And let me tell you, some of my favorite people are farmers.
That's the
Okay,
best thing ever.
best thing ever. But again, we're in this matrix. We're in this thing where we have so many people who are just like, it's just got to be all glitz and glam, and there's no consideration that's really given to how do you survive. So that's
Yes.
one of the things that I'm focused on. um, the first time I worked with somebody in relation to their garden or starting to garden or setting up their garden, we talk a lot about the mindset that goes behind it. Like, you have to put love into this thing because that's what's going to give you the best results. If you
Yes.
put love into the garden, into your plants, we talk to our plants like we just believe in, literally we believe in being one with them. So
Yes.
that's one of the things that we talk about first. So you're a garden coach as well. So what are some of the things that you talk about when you're working with your garden clients?
I'm sorry, what did you
Don't worry
say?
about them. We all good. I said, one of the things. What are some of the things that you talk about when you're working with your garden clients?
I try to ask them what some of their fears are because my clients aren't just clients. I consider them family. So I really
Mhm.
want to get to know them and help them heal as well. So maybe if they don't feel comfortable actually getting out there to do the work, at least I can show them what can be done or show someone in their family how to do it. And I also tell them how important every single piece of the puzzle is. So all the insects play a role, all the wildlife play a role. If you guys check out my Instagram, you'll see the cats. We have a cat colony here. We have about 11 cats now. I call them my
Wow.
garden guards because
Wow.
they literally help us with the wildlife. They keep the squirrels away. And when we have the raccoons, I'll record my conversations with the raccoons because I talk to them like human beings because they can understand language and they can hear the tone. When I say you need to go somewhere, they will go somewhere. We got to break up some fights every now and again, but as long as you start building a relationship with the environment, your fear is going to start to leave you. If you
Mm.
see a spider, you could just pick it up and relocate it. Same with snakes. I don't know how comfortable people are with snakes. I'll grab me a stick and just pick it up and put it somewhere else because snakes help us with rodents and all the things that, we might not be able to take care of ourselves. So I really try to focus on the things that might bother people and just say, listen, before you kill it, try to understand what they're doing for the environment first,
Well,
or call somebody to remove it for you
mm,
humanely.
yeah, it's
So
so funny that you say that. Um, Eco neighbor is my husband in the chat. I don't know if you can see him down there, but
no.
um, he and I were out on our new land. We're buying property, so we were out there yesterday, and we were hearing, just like sitting there, just listening to like what's happening on the land. And so we start to hear this squeal, something just squealing, and I was like, okay, now we figured out what the other one was. Now, what the heck is this? And he was just sitting there and he's just watching, and he spotted it. And it was a snake had grabbed a mouse.
Mhm.
And so we just sat there and just watched it, because I was like, yeah, I was wondering where they were. This is our first time seeing one, since
Yes, they
we've
are
been
our
out here.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
I know
And
they're a
they
little
are.
intimidating,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually was on a hike in Ghana and I had a cobra snake fall from the rock right
Wow.
next to me. But because I understand the relationship to snakes to nature, I just stepped to the side and the snake went the other way. But when
Yeah.
you have fear, a lot of the animals can pick up on that and they might attack because they're just
Mm-hmm.
as scared of us as we are of them. So if we just
Yeah.
stay calm, I think we'll have a much better relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Love Note said something so important. The cycle of life
Hmm.
with all the animals. And so we
Absolutely.
believe strongly in that, and this is why we also don't use chemicals in our yard,
Hmm.
because we want to make sure that when we go out and we put that spade or that shovel in the ground, that we want that bad boy loaded with earthworms
Yes.
and all of that type of stuff. We'll sit there sometimes and literally call animals like birds, literally like play a sound to call birds to the yard.
That's
So
amazing.
we have hummingbirds that come here every year. We have the possum.
Hmm.
We lost one to something. I don't know what did it like
Aw.
that, but we still have like a pretty fat possum, probably pregnant, and we just let them be. The cats come around all the time. The neighbors' cat. I don't know where they come from, but they come over here, and we allow that. We allow
Hmm.
them to be over here because it's just that cycle of life, and if we're not being one with them, we're going to be using all kinds of chemicals and things that are going to harm them, that's going to
Hmm.
harm um, the productivity of our soil, etc.
Hmm.
So we choose to just make sure that we work with it. One of the things that we do in our pastime is go to the wildlife sanctuary. So they protect all of the animals there. So they have tons of gators. They have different types of birds that fly in at different times of the year. Um, like it's magical for us. So I tell people all the time, like, fall in love with it, fall in love with it. When you're in love with something, you take care of it.
Absolutely.
You definitely take care of it when you're in love with it. Um, and I heard you say, another thing I heard you say, is that, and we're going right back to these doggone seeds. I'm kind of jumping around on my notes. But you said money doesn't mean a thing, but getting those seeds.
You are creating your own currency when you start collecting seeds. And
Mm-hmm.
once you start growing things, you can grow different sets. So one set you grow for harvest and the next set you grow for seeds so that you're constantly harvesting, you're eating, but you're also conserving the seeds so that you never have to spend money on that crop again. So you
Yeah,
make that one-time investment and you're set.
yeah. GT Junior Grows It Alaska is in here, and
Amazing.
I privately call him the king of seeds because
Really?
this man, if you go to his channel, GT Junior Grows It Alaska, if you go to his channel, this man has, like, he does seed hauls,
Mm-hmm.
and to see all of the seeds, all of the different seeds that he buys and brings in, because he understands what's going on. He
Yes.
understands out here. And mind you now, and he is growing in Alaska.
Amazing.
He's right, amazing. He's growing in Alaska. So we just have people from everywhere, and every time you say something, it just reminds me of somebody else in our community that you should really go and look at their pages.
Please, I need a whole list. I want to see who everybody is so I can start subscribing to everybody's pages because I would love to connect.
Yeah, yeah. A bunch of just great and kind people. So questions. Put a red question mark so I can see it. If you have questions for our guest Celeste, go ahead and put a question mark and then type out your question so that we can see it. So James Franklin said, question, would we can see, wait a minute, let me understand. Um, if you grow a plant in the house, just for seed collection, have you ever grown a plant indoors for a seed collection?
Let me just be straight up. I am not an indoor plant mama.
Okay,
I
okay,
tried it and I got so busy. I neglected my babies and they died. Well, and but you know what? I don't consider when things dying. I feel like you can always return it to the earth, so it's a
yes,
constant cycle.
yes.
But I was a bad plant mom. So I don't grow anything inside, but it is possible if you have limited space, you can get yourself some grow lights, get yourself a little portable greenhouse, and you can grow things in your windowsill. There, when there is a will, there is a way. So that just like a couple of people that were in here said they grow in a small space, you can grow any and everywhere.
Yeah, I guess that's a question we're gonna have to ask our friend Tasha. Oh, she grows. Um, she'll probably know because she's a
Mhm.
plant mama. She's an
Yes.
indoor plant mama too, as well as outdoor gardener. So Black Coffee wants to know what's the name of the seed store that you mentioned on Etsy. I want to know too. I'm fixing to write it down.
I believe it's called Little Shop of Horticulture.
Okay.
And you can also find them on Instagram too, and you'll be able to see some of the things they grow. But I always tag them on my page when I'm
Okay.
using their seeds so people can see them actually grown.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Hey, Ebony R, how you doing? Yes, hit that thumbs up button, please, and thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And share this out with whatever channel that you can share it on,
For
because there's
sure.
a lot of people that need to know this young lady, and they need to know some of this information. She does not have a channel just yet, but
Not yet, but I'm
we're
I'm
going to
working on
work.
it, y'all. I
We're gonna
promise.
work. We're gonna work towards making sure that she gets in a channel. How are you doing, Essential Garden? So yeah. Um, let's see. More questions. How are
And-
you with flowers?
oh, I love flowers. I actually grew my first year of growing food. I created a sunflower border. So I planted directly into the soil and I made sure my seeds were lined up, and all of my sunflowers got to about 6 to 8 feet tall. So I
Mm,
love to use that in my designing. I put the
wow.
tallest plants in the back and then you do steps all around. So you make sure you can see everything. And actually my first year of gardening, I got a blue ribbon from the Pennsylvania Horticulture Society because someone told me, because they've been watching my journey, why don't you submit your garden? And they had a bunch of questions for me to answer, and they wanted to make sure you're growing sustainably. So I call it them people's job because that's not my job anymore. That's
Yeah.
just a place where I spend 8 hours a day and get a
Hmm.
check. So I sat and I made sure I explained everything I did and included my pictures, and they saw it and gave me an award. So that tells me I'm doing what I am supposed to be doing.
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. Amazing. James, okay. So what he was asking was, would it weaken seed if you grow a plant in the house just for seed production? So we're gonna ask Tasha. We're gonna
Yeah,
ask
I don't
Tasha
think
about
it
that.
would though. As long as you have the proper lighting and water and nutrients, I don't think it would weaken the plant. But I'm sure someone more well versed can answer that a little bit better than me.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Miss Oshi Grows. We're gonna ask her about that. Because she loves those indoor plants and things. Um, so let's see. Questions. Any further questions before we go?
I know some
Thanks,
people
Miss
had some questions
Neighbors.
about vegan, my vegan lifestyle.
Yeah,
I don't
go
know if
ahead. You can
anybody
talk
wants
about
to ask any.
it. Anybody have questions? Oh, I found another one. The Facebook pages that you mentioned before.
Sure. My garden community is Grow with Green Grocer C, But
Mm-hmm.
also, I am a part of Stronger Roots on Facebook, and that's a group for Black agriculturalists from all over the world.
Okay. Let's see. I see several people saying, "Oh, Eco Neighbor, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. I missed it. I don't know how I didn't see that, but thank you." Um, a lot of people saying that they don't do well with indoor plants or they just don't like
I feel you. I feel each and every one of you.
it.
It's not for
But
everybody. I had to admit that. But
yeah,
once I move into a house and get my land, I plan on having a greenhouse where I can have some things in the house, but also have plants outside. Because I have 3 cats inside, and I cannot bring a plant in without them trying to eat it. So
of
that's one
course.
of the main reasons why I don't have indoor plants.
Of course, of course, of course. Um, and you talked about you made another point that I thought of, and I'm trying not to forget what your point was. Oh, about seed collection, about seed collection, making absolute certain that we are growing some things and allowing them to seed.
Yes, it's a
So
natural production of it's a natural process for the plant to want to reproduce. So we got to give them an opportunity to do that too.
yes, yes, yes. And so one of our things is to make sure that we have at least two of them, just kind of depending on
Hmm.
which plant it is. It for example, I have red mustards. I have
Yes.
red mustard greens. And when they produce seeds, you get a ton of seeds off of
Hmm.
one plant. The same thing with bok choy, you get a ton of plants, a ton of seeds off of one plant. And so you just have to kind of sit there. And another thing I love, the reason that I love to just have those things go to seed is because of the flowers that they produce.
Exactly. Bring all the
It brings
pollinators to
all the
you.
pollinators, exactly, brings in all the pollinators.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Question. Lynette Lawrence. Hello. When should save seed from a harvest? First, second, or third? When do you suggest to save seeds? Anytime it
Hmm.
seeds, you
Absolutely.
want to get those seeds.
Every
The one.
season.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would say every season, make sure you're constantly harvesting. I like to get the little brown seed packets off of Amazon. Make sure you keep little packets and also write the name of the crop and the date so you have a record of what seeds you're saving.
Yes, yes. And so what we typically do is the same thing. I typically just get like a brown paper bag, and
Mm-hmm.
then just put them in there and let them finish drying out or whatever. But every time, Miss Lynette, every time you have seeds come up, get your seeds. It makes a world of difference. And I'm still growing seeds from 2020. Hey, Lion Crest Family
Amazing.
Garden. I'm still growing seeds from my 2020 garden. So yeah, get your seeds, and they're going to last you for years if you keep them, in the right type of environment. Like, make sure that they're in a dry environment, and
Yes.
cool doesn't hurt either.
Yes. If you have some
Cool,
space in the cupboard or in your
yeah.
cabinet, just throw them right on in there.
Yep, yep, that's it. Another question from Saint Moshi. Hello, how are you doing? What size container to grow fruit trees?
You know what? I can't remember his name. He might be Family Prairie Family Homestead on Instagram. He
Mhm,
posted a video about growing fruit trees in a storage bin.
mhm.
And I happened to go to a Family Dollar and I saw a 30-gallon storage bin for $2. So you guys
Woo!
go to the dollar store and look at these containers. Make sure you put the proper holes in the bottom because you don't want to make that mistake of not having drainage. But get you some good soil and you can grow your fruit trees in a container just in case you don't have the land to actually put them in the ground like me. Like me, I'm probably going to do the same thing. And when I move, guess what? I'm taking my trees with me.
Yeah, yeah. That it makes a world of difference to be able to have, especially those ones with the handles, because that's what
Yes.
some of our trees are in those as well. So we'll use the tough totes.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them have handles, some of them don't. Just wherever you can find them, like we go, and if we see some of those things on the side of the road and like they're not worn out, we're like, oh, grab
It's
that, go
mine,
ahead and
right?
grab that. Yeah, it's yours. It's free. It's free.
Free
Uh,
is for me. And another good reliable resource, if you're on Facebook, a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of states have a group called Buy Nothing, and they have them for your neighborhood. So you could put in your zip code and join your local Buy Nothing group, and you can post anything that you might need. A neighbor might have it for you, and then you could go pick it up, and sometimes they'll drop it off to you. So I always look for the free option first. Then
yeah,
if I have to spend money, then I'm gonna try to find an affordable place to go to get it.
I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking for more questions. Yeah, we saw that one about the fruit tree. So you definitely get a large, it depends on what type of tree you have. Like, let me talk a little bit about that. So there are some trees that can easily get really root bound. So you want to get the biggest container that you can to put them in, because if they
Mm-hmm.
get root bound, then you're not going to get the best out of that tree. So you kind of have to do a little research to determine what type of fruit that you want to grow in a container, and that'll kind of tell you. So if the tap root on that thing goes down 10 feet, then you might not want to put that
Yeah.
in a container, kind of like the what is that? The fuyu, like the persimmon trees
Mm-hmm.
have a deep tap root. While you can grow them in containers, you have to pull that tree out, um, and you have to check that tap root. Another one that I have found that gets root bound really fast is the elderberry. So you have to make sure that you pull them out there. So I had to go through the tedious task of taking all of those individual trees, like had to literally unravel them,
Oh wow.
because they get root bound really really fast. And the same thing happens with some vegetables, not vegetables, some of the herbs rather, more
Mm-hmm.
than the vegetables, but some of the herbs, like the mint herbs, anything in the mint family, they can
Yes.
really get root bound. um, One of them that I grew, and I had them in two pots, and they were good sized pots, and man, they started to look a little sick, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
good care of you. And it wasn't the pineapple sage, it was something else. I'm gonna think of it. It was something else, but it started to look just sickly, and I was like, what's wrong? So I pulled it out, and sure enough, it was the roots were just all over the
Oh.
place. And so, you just have to kind of do the research on
Mm-hmm.
what type of tree you have, what type of plant you have. And that way, when you put it into a container, then it'll let you know whether you need to like pull it out and check those roots, or whatever you need to do. Oh, you ain't letting your car go dead, are you?
Okay. We're gonna have to open the door for this one.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm gonna let you go because we've been on here long enough. But I wanted to say thank you so much for being here, for coming in. I know that you gotta, go on and take care of your responsibilities at home. So thank you so much
Thank you for
for
having me. I really appreciate it.
to come in. I really, really appreciate you. I was fascinated. There's AJ Green Thumb. Hey, AJ. That's what I was telling you about, who does landscape design, and he is
Yes.
incredible. Incredible.
Okay.
AJ's Green Thumb. He's one of my
Okay, I'm definitely
moderators.
gonna follow.
Yes, yes, definitely follow up. You will not be disappointed. So um, I'm going to go ahead and let you go for the day. But thank you again. And we
Thank
will be
you.
talking to you really soon.
Thank
And
you so
remember,
much.
Garden family, tell Celeste, well done. Congratulations on all her awards. Congratulations on being consistent with finding her purpose in life. Just congratulations to you. That means a lot. It means the world when you know your purpose and you know where you're going and you actually find the work that you actually love. So, thank you again. And I will see you the next time. And remember, G Tribe, when you grow it, you know it. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family. And I will see you guys on the next live at 5 on Tuesday. Peace, family.
Bye bye.